All right, guys, welcome to your 12th episode of this series, Web Design 101. In this episode, we are going to look at how to build a form inside our web page. So, a form is basically a field that accepts input from a user. Example is let me use this example Facebook registration. You are required to, I mean, put your name, your first name, your email address, your telephone number, and all that stuff. So that is basically what a form is. So to do that, first of all, you have to open the form element, open and close the form element like this, and everything that we are going to deal with is going to be inside, the form. So for example, I'm going to say name, then I'll give a colon. Then there is another element inside this form element, which is an input element. So input like this, then I'll close it. Then I'll use br to close this. Then I have another, let's say, email. Then I'll use another input. Now the input type, there's no need for you to close it. All you need is open it and don't close it. It's a self-closing element. So now I'll save it. Control S, go back to the folder beginner HTML, then I'll double click on it. Okay, so we have it like this. Okay, so we have the input. This is the input. We can type our name over there. Then we can also add our email over there. Good. So let's go get back to the code over here. So we can add a lot of them, but there is an attribute that we can add to the input element. So over here we are dealing with a text file. Okay, a text format. Let me put it in the correct word. So name is not a number, it's not an email, it's not a password, it's a text that we have to supply. So the type over here, we can say type, which is an attribute related to input, equal to, then I'm going to say text. Then this attribute over here, I will give a type. Because this one we are dealing with email, we are going to say that email instead of text. Okay, then I'll put br here again. Then I'm going to add password over there. I'll just give input. Okay. Then I'll give password. I'll save it. Control S, back to the page, you can refresh. So we have another input there as password. So I can give the name, then the email, then the password. So the password, as I'm typing password, you can't see it because the type I used password. So if I'm to remove this type over there, then I refresh the page again. When I type password, I still have like the text displaying. Okay, so it is very, very important and very essential to bring the type, attribute. So in that way, when you are submitting a form into a particular, database, it makes it easier for you to do that. So we also have another element that we can add, which is also placeholder. Okay, placeholder. We can see that enter name. Then over here, we can add another placeholder and see enter, I mean, email. Then the last one, placeholder, then see password. Control S, back to the page. Let me refresh. So you see the placeholder is displaying over here. Enter name, enter email, and password. Okay, so it gives the user a prompt on what to do. So back to the code. We can also add another attribute known as required. Okay, required. That means it is compulsory for you to um, insert the data inside it. It's not optional. You can do this. Okay, required. Good. So we also have another one known as field set. Okay, now the field set allow us to group data in a form. Okay, grouping form data with field set. So let's say I'll cut this whole thing. Control X to cut. Then I have my field set like this. Okay. Then I'll get another element known as legend. Now, what's the function of the legend? The legend gives the caption, okay, the caption of the grouped element. So I'm going to say personal details like this. Then after that, I'll paste the code inside the faucet. So everything is within the faucet. Open here and closed here. Okay, and we have element in it known as legend. So I'm going to press Control S, save it back, and then refresh the page. So you see it has grouped our um, details for us. So we have personal details where we can enter name, email, password. So back to the code, we can add a lot of types. Okay, so I'm going to have another field set, then another legend. I'm going to say basic info. Over here, I'm trying to apply more. I mean, type. Okay, so I'm going to say select. Now we want to select a drop down, I mean, button, or a drop down form that we can select a particular option. So inside this select, we have another element that reside, which is known as option. Okay, okay. So I'm going to say male, another option, then female, another option. Let's see other. Control S to save. Back to the browser, then refresh. So we have this particular form, a drop down. I think the other was not okay. Sorry, it should be option, option, other. Control S to save and refresh. Okay, so we have other over there. So that's how we add select inside our code. We can also add a radio button. So I'm going to give an input like this. Then the type I'm going to specify radio. Okay, then value is called to mail. Then I'll give a br, another input, then radio type, then the value female, another BR, then input type radio, then let's specify other. Control S to save, back to the code, then refresh. Okay. So what I have to do is I have to put them here. I have male, female, other. Okay. So let me end that here. Control S to save, then refresh the page. So I have it male, female, and this. So this is not the right input that we should use. We should rather use check boxes. We should rather use check box instead of radio button. Yeah, we should give a name. We should give a name to it, and all the name should be, I think, the same. So the name attribute is very important, especially when we get to PHP, when we are trying to validate a form. We are trying to put a form inside a database. So it is very, very important. So here I'm going to specify gender. I'm going to give all of them gender. Then gender over here. I'll save it back to my code, refresh. So let's see if I can select more than two. No, I can't do that. Okay, because the name are now the name are the same. I can select more than one. Okay, so the next one I'm going to add is checkboxes. So what I will do is I'll copy the same code over here, Control C, then put another BR there. I think two. Then I'll put HR, horizontal line. All you need to open it, there's no need for you to close it. I'll paste the code back. So I'll change the radio to check box like this. Then I'll change this to check box. Then check box again. Control S to save. Let me scroll down a bit so that you can see it well. Back to the code and refresh it. So we have checkbox. That is, you can check as many as you want, from zero up to as many boxes that you can check. So we have a lot of inputs that we can add. So let me go back to the first floor set over here. We can add the submit input. Okay, so the type here should be submit. So here we give value, we don't give name. So I'm going to say value, then I'm going to say submit. So this is going to give us a button. Control S to save. It's going to give us a button that when we click, it will submit to a particular database or a particular place. So I'll give, see, it is telling us that this field is required because of the required that we added to the code here. Required this and this. So that's the submit form. We can have another one. Let me put BR, say input, then I'll select, let's say, date. Okay, save it, back to the code, then refresh. So we have to select a date. You can specify a date. Let's say 17th, that's something something. Okay, so another one we can add is, let's say, BR, then I'll put a p tag and say select your favorite color, right? So I have an input, Then the type, I'm going to say color. Okay, Control S to save, then back and refresh the code. So when you double click, you can select a particular color of your choice. Get it? So that is how to select your color. So we have another one that I can also add. Let's say BR, then input, then I'm going to say file. Okay, Control S. So we use the file to upload something or select something from our local system. So over here, choose file. So when I click on it, I can select something from my computer, then choose it. Okay. So when we get to PHP, we use this a lot. So basically, this all about form. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.